Today we have Meghan Brown of Keller Williams on the Michael Tishka team. Super stoked to have you. Obviously got the co-host here, Paul Carson, Philadelphia Mortgage Brokers, and I'm Brian McGroarty, Core Title. We got a fun show. I mean, a lot of good things are happening in real estate, but Meghan's awesome because Meghan's just not the typical type of real estate agent where people might, stereotype you. I mean, she is an entrepreneur of all sorts, but stoked to have her on. Welcome.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. There's two things I wanted to ask you about this on Meghan is that you're obviously getting people from all different types. They're seeing different towns. They have different needs. They have different wants. Yes. What's like three things that you could give advice to a borrower in today's market as like an expectations conversation? Like, hey, before you even get started, here's what you should expect.
Yeah. So three things. So when I first meet them, the very first thing, obviously, when we meet in person, I prefer to meet them in person as quickly as I possibly can to build that relationship. I kind of give them the realization of what the market is, and it changes, right? So like right now, hey, we're just entering the spring market. We just came out of a time where there weren't a lot of homes, and the homes that were here weren't great. And like I said, it changes, but like right now today, I'm having that conversation. That's what that looks like. We're just entering the spring market. The houses are getting better. We're getting more, but we still don't have a ton of inventory. So we have to move quick. And I think that's the one thing that hasn't changed in my entire career is we have to move quick. So if you see something that's coming up on Friday, we should try and see it within the first few days, if not the first day, because 2 weeks from now, it's most likely not going to be there. So, I mean, that's like the biggest expectation that they need to have. The other thing is really just is giving them like, this is what we've been saying. This area, houses are going for this % over asking. So if your budget is 300, shouldn't really be looking at 300. We should be looking at like the 275s. And the taxes are here. So like if there's houses that you like in this price range, we're going to need to work with your lender and make sure that he's sending you numbers so that you can make sure it still fits you based off the taxes. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is for sure is making sure that they have a lender that they're working with. And I don't bring this conversation up until I meet them. Once we start getting to the point where, okay, I know what they like at a home. It's like, okay, so we need to make sure you have a lender that's going to answer the phone. We need a local lender. Working with these big banks, it's going to be a call center. You may not get them. And just from my personal experience, it goes a lot smoother when you have someone that's local that we can connect you with at any point at a time. So if we see a house Thursday night at 10 or at 7 o'clock and you decide at 10, you want to put an offer in, we want to be able to text them and say, hey, can you send numbers over to make sure this will work for them and get a response so we can get that offer in.
Right. That's the thing. Sense of urgency. Yeah. Paul, are you seeing the same thing on your end?
It depends. It depends on the agent they're working with. So a strong agent's going to do their best to set expectations and let them know, I know you think you want to offer under asking, but this home's been on the market for 2 days and there's 47 showings this weekend. So probably not going to get us very far. We can. And if we do, we just know that we're probably not going to win and we'll be back to the drawing board.
I will give them that expectation. Like we're just hitting that spring market and all these people have been seeing these houses. So we are going against so many people. I really give them like the breakdown of what the offer needs to be. Once we find something they like, there's so many different strategies we put into it. And I won't give all my gems away because I need to keep those so I can keep getting my offers accepted. But I mean, there's many different factors to putting an offer in. And again, you have to work with your partner. So you have to work with the lender to make sure things like appraisal gaps and things will actually work because a client could be like, sure, let's waive appraisal. Then you go to a lender and like, no, they barely have enough for closing. They don't have enough to do that type of appraisal gap, or they could do this much. And that's why it's really good to be able to work with them to make sure that what you want to do can actually work. But there's just so many different strategies we can put in. And again, it changes per market. But I think that putting like a nice little package together with the offer is always what's best to help my clients. But making sure that they understand it, because we don't want them to lose the house because they didn't understand it, or lose the house and not understand what we put into the offer. So I try to really explain everything to them. And I ask them a million times, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, does this make sense? And I say that line probably more than I should. Like, does this make sense? But I want to make sure that they understand it, because I know when I bought my first house, I had no idea what we were doing. It was before I was a real estate agent, and I couldn't even tell you what we put in our offer. And I like to think that most of my clients that I've sold houses to would never say that they would say, oh yeah, she explained everything to us and we understood the entire process.
This is really fun. I appreciate you again coming on, Meghan, taking a lot of time out of your day. This has been awesome. Hearing more about what you're doing, not getting all the secret sauce, but of course, anybody that wants to reach out to Meghan, what's always the best way to reach out to you and get a hold of you?
Yeah. I mean, phone, email, social media, however you want to reach me. Feel free to reach out 7 days a week, any hour. I work on a lot of little sleep. So feel free to reach out if you have questions or you need help with anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Meghan. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.